Hi, I'm Joe Freeman of the Oregonian. This is Mike Richman of the Oregonian. With about 2 minutes left in Game 3 at the Moda Center, Damian Lillard gathered his troops along the sideline in a huddle along the Blazers bench and said, "Do you want to go home?" The answer, no.
Not yet.
Blazers won Game 3, 96-88. After calling it a must-win going into the night, they delivered on their, I guess you would call it a pledge, I don't know.
The commitment.
Big night for the Blazers backcourt. Damian Lillard finished with 32 points, really got the team started early, showed that this was going to be a different night for him, and the Blazers came out from the jump emotional and on fire after starting so poorly to this series through 2 games. Also had a lot of help from CJ McCollum, 27 points. Both of them really fed off each other as they have all season. But perhaps the most important player, finally a complimentary guy, stepped up for that dynamic backcourt. Mason Plumlee was a monster all night. Finished with 21 rebounds, 9 assists, only 6 points, but you could feel his presence in pretty much everything the Blazers did. His rebounding was particularly notable. First Blazer since Sam Bowie in 1985, or Sam Bowie to some of us, in 1985 to record more than 20 rebounds. Also the first player in the NBA since Kevin Garnett to record at least 21 rebounds and 9 assists in the playoffs. And who was the company he joined?
It's a pretty good group. Plumlee joins Kevin Garnett in 04, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Tim Duncan and Shaquille O'Neal as the only players to have 21 rebounds and 9 assists in a playoff game. Not a bad group of centers to be named with.
They're good, right?
Pretty good. Most of them will be up in the Hall of Fame one day.
Okay. Mason was the guy who got the podium game tonight. He kind of quipped that it's a good thing I wore a tie. It was his first podium game of his career, although he has been in the playoffs a couple seasons before joining the Blazers. But really, outside of his contributions, really a nice game from Damian Lillard, a bounce-back game after really being put under the microscope after 2 games.
Absolutely, and that challenge that Joe mentioned at the beginning of the video where he called everyone together and said, "Do you want to go home?" It came after the Blazers led from the first quarter till about 6 minutes left in the game, and then all of a sudden they're down 4. They're staring sort of at a deficit, and a 3-0 series deficit it's over. That's it, and they'll pack it up and go home. He challenged his guys, and they responded. They finished the game on a 13-5 run. The Clippers had 1 field goal in the final 3 minutes of the game. It came with 6 seconds left. Jamal Crawford got a garbage bucket that didn't mean anything. The Blazers got it done on defense. They got it done with their stars, and they got it done with their big man, Mason Plumlee, making plays when the Clippers defense keyed on the guys who can really score.
Yeah, how good was the Blazers defense? J.J. Redick, 2 for 10 from the field, 5 points. Blake Griffin, 5 for 16, a very quiet 12 points. Chris Paul had another prolific game, 26 and 9, but 10 for 21. He attempted 7 threes, only made 2, and really the Clippers settled for a lot of jumpers early in the game. Paul from 3-point range, Blake Griffin from the mid-range. They didn't attack down low very often, and the tandem of Mo Harkless and Al-Farouq Aminu, after kind of being spotty through games 1 and 2, really played a lot better tonight. And Harkless's defense, particularly on Chris Paul, was pretty notable.
Yeah, Aminu was great on Griffin too. The Blazers said that they were happy, maybe not happy, but they thought they played well enough in games 1 and 2. They just didn't make shots, and they lost games in sort of small chunks that where the games got away from them. This game never got away from them. They responded when it mattered, and all of a sudden we've got a series.
Game 4, Monday night at the Moda Center, 7:30. Strap on your seatbelts. Should be fun.
See you then.